Alrighty. A little loud. Been a few days since we've played this. The evil one, I see that. Now, we could just go to Sin's Fort. I mean, it's right there. Seems reasonable. Maybe upgrade our weapon. I feel bad though, like if we upgrade our weapon, we're gonna just shit on, Ornstein and Smo. But I do kind of want to just show off how, okay, actually I can't upgrade it, but I want to show off how good this weapon is. We are level 24. We're probably supposed to level up a lot by now. Asking for a friend. You know, people are always doing that because they're trying to stream snipe you. I want to level up some because I want to be able to wear my knight armor. Don't know how much I'm going to need. Let's see. Not quite enough. It's like the endurance won't really make us any stronger in direct combat. It's not even for like the higher defense, it's for the fashion. If you can't look good while fighting bosses, why even play the game? Visa is not letting me buy Night Rain. Or it could be your bank. Man, how much endurance do I need? I got Hovel's Ring, right? Rah. I mean, I could kill the shield. That's still not enough? Maybe I need Fap Ring, Jesus. I just leveled up so many bloody times there and I'm still, mid-rolling. I love this armor though. Oh, I just realized I want though these, which are a little bit heavier. So we're kind of far away from fast rolling apparently. Well, sometimes your bank is just like a dick with stuff like this. Like, you know, they think the transaction's fishy or something. Things like that. So they block it. Sometimes, you know, there's like an address that's wrong and crap like that. I can't remember if we actually picked up that Firekeeper soul. We probably did. Wait, I can check if I have the black eye orb or whatever. Yeah, I do. Okay. Let's see if we can clean up our inventory a little bit. Put Homered Bones at the bottom. This game's inventory system is quite archaic. Why did you not select the item before? What the hell? Oh my god. How is this even an inventory system? What kind of bullshit is this? You didn't put it? What? Oh my god. None of this makes sense. God. Alright. Then, put the cure stuff up here. Poison and toxic, all that. Kind of already passed the point where that matters too much, though. More of a PvP convenience, really. We're not doing. Because, one, remastered PvP is not very good in comparison to the original, in my opinion, because there's no dead angles and various other things. And also, at this point, it's all cheaters and whatnot. That is kind of the sad thing about the PC versions of these games, is as time goes on, the only people left are, cheaters, generally. And twinks and all that. You know, real quick. Just gonna casually get the Baldur side sword here. Don't mind me, chat. That's some annoying timing there. Definitely gonna drop. Chat, you don't have a weapon art in this game. Can you believe that? When you click the weapon art button, it just does the same thing as the block button. And Lost, what's up, dude? I can't believe Green is 83 years old. Yeah. I had someone the other day tell me I just, like, seem so old. Like, in real life. And I was like, okay. And because they were going off of, like, what I was saying, right? And, like, they kind of meant it as a compliment, but just the way they worded it did not really come off that way. They were trying to say, like, I was wise beyond my years, which is a compliment, but they definitely worded it in a way where, like, you're old as fuck, dude. Grandcaster on the 3rd, Night Rain on the 4th. Yeah, I bet you Grandcaster is Solomon. I'm getting that feeling because of the timing with, Dude, I just leveled up so much and I'm not any stronger. I'm actually weaker because I still can't fast roll. So, like, we leveled up, we basically doubled our level. How much? I don't remember needing this much. I guess we're gonna have to kill the Trek. I was gonna keep him alive just for the lore, but I need that FAP ring, dude. This is ridiculous. But no. The finale is on, like, the 1st or something. And then there's, like, a pause in the finale. Like, and then the Grandcaster thing happens. So that's no coincidence. They're definitely connected. And then, you know, it's Caster. And then the finale continues after that. So, now it could just be some brand new character we've never heard of that happens to be a caster. You know, that's definitely an option here. But, you know, it could be. Solomon. They just gotta make everything so slow in that game. Dude, the side movement in this game in comparison to Dark Souls 3 or Night Rain, Elden Ring, etc. is just, it's insane. Like, it's so much slower and, like, it's not very precise. It's not taking advantage of the analogs, like diagonal analog, properly. Like 4-directional. The fact you have to do the finale. Oh yeah, it's another thing. You're not allowed to do the Grandcaster gameplay stuff unless you've done the first part of the prologue or the you know, finale and whatnot. So, like, it's either Solomon or some other new caster related to the ending. I don't think there's no way it's not one of those two things. And, you know, maybe it's Guadia. Opium. You know, I could fight that guy with the rust. You know what? Why not? Let me... Oh, blunt weapon would be a lot more effective here. Why is there a snake guy here? Also, that's distracting the hell out of me. Playing in the mud. That has iframes on it. That's crazy. That has okay. This guy's playing Elden Ring. Slowest animation in the game there. Please stop doing that. This guy's just playing in the slowest way possible, so I hit trade with him. You want? I was gonna say something about the snake guy there, then fucker gets aggro. Oh, of course. Oh, you little... I don't think that was even possible because they were just alternating their attacks perfectly there. Dude, why was there even a snake there? That's not a location where one normally is. Like, what the fuck? Bullshit. Wow, I need to clean up my inventory. I don't need 30,000 shields here. Chat, why does FGO have a bunch of beast characters that we've never heard of? Just like idiot waifu bullshit alternate character stuff, but we don't have Guadia. Also, Guadia was like intended to be playable from the beginning, and then they just didn't. It literally has victory lines and bond lines and an extra attack. Like, he fucking has a victory voice line, like, for the player side. Chat, this is not the place to be talking about porn sites. Get a grip. Don't tell that to, Twitch, though. You would never know. Boy, this is getting annoying. Oh, yeah, right. I can actually move now because there's not a random snake back there. Honestly, these Titanite demons are quite tanky for this part of the game. So our damage is pretty reasonable. This guy is just being so fucking troll with his moveset. Also, like, I remember this from back in the day. A lot of his charge attacks have, like, this completely like, it just does not match the animation at all, like the lingering hitbox. It's completely stupid. Makes it almost impossible to, like, just straight iframe it. And, like, there's, like, no momentum or power behind the attack anymore, and there's just a hitbox there just because. Feels really shitty, like, the timing. That was not fun. Revenant roll. Can probably add that. I'm too lazy to do it this second though, because this game doesn't play with OBS at all. I don't know why this game doesn't play well with OBS, because, you know, it's the remastered version. You'd think they would fix things like that, but if I try to add that right now, it's gonna, like, crash the shit out of my monitor. Yeah, I guess Arthur's stuff with the beast and all that is gonna be in part 3. It is funny though, just how much stuff in Dark Souls 1 you can dodge by walking. And you can do that in Elden Ring, but it requires, like, you to be standing in way more specific locations and stuff. Or in this game, you can just be standing anywhere, and you'll still have time to get out of the way. What really gets you in Dark Souls 1 is attacking when you really shouldn't, because then your recovery frames are so long. The enemy can, like, drink a Coke and then still get their hit off and hit trade with you. Okay. What's wrong with this game? Why do enemies give you a turn to attack? Yeah, there is that. You see, in Elden Ring, it's just you just don't have a time to attack. Like, that's the difference over there. It is honestly annoying. There are some, especially when you're fighting 2 enemies in Elden Ring, it's just like, okay, so you're going to have to hit trade if you like it or not. Okay. Oh yeah, and we're still mid-rolling, so... Royal Revenants, yeah. Boy, fighting like a Royal Revenant and then some random ranged enemy, not a great experience. That was kind of BS, but alright. That is one reason I really like Ninja Gaiden Black, is you're allowed to fucking attack. You don't have to just sit here waiting for an hour and a half. Like, even against these guys, like, if I want to not get hit, I am just barely going to ever be able to attack. And it's not like skillful, it's just waiting. Eek. Ridiculous, I have to heal twice there because the stupid trap didn't hit the guy. It hit the one guy twice and hit the other guy once, so neither of them died. And I have to heal fucking 2 times. Nuts. I guess I don't have very much HP right now, though. That felt like it should have been a parry. Kind of silly he survived that fall, but all right. I should really get a miracle for heal. I've got some faith. I don't know why that was a riposte and the other one earlier wasn't. Yeah, most of the Night Rain mods aren't really there yet. Also, a lot of the best modders aren't really trying to do it, so I think they're like gonna incorporate it into a bigger mod is probably what's going on. Man, someone modding an Iron Eye into regular Elden Ring, that's just disgusting. Let's see if we can get this guy to break the wall. It doesn't really matter, it's just kind of a cool thing you can do. Thank you. It's funny how aggressive enemies are when, like, the game thinks you're trying to heal. Because, like, Dark Souls 1 tries so hard to hit you and heal. But then when you're not doing that, the enemies will just be super slow. Honestly, bows are good in Elden Ring. The issue is you have to shoot souls, right? Your ammo costs souls, and over a playthrough that ends up being just so much. Now, to be fair, you know, it's not a big deal holding your level back in Elden Ring because it's so easy to get over leveled that it's almost a good balancing act, but you know, no one else has to do it, so. Do I not have the key? Oh, there we go, master key. Oh. I bet you someone's going to get Big Hat Logan as a skin in the DLC for Night Rain. Maybe the new guy. It really fits his design. Although, there's been some other things that would have really fit someone's design and they didn't get it. And there's some really random stuff like Duchess getting Dark Wraith. Like, what the hell? And everyone uses that one too. Really? Ugh. Good guy, Onion. No skill. I'm not sure that was the problem. Boy, that guy got like hidden mecha thrusters on his ass because he like suddenly got propelled forward midair like that. This is a problem. They hit Onion guy. You can kill him like he won't fight back or anything. Look at that shit. I love how he's still attacking when I'm way over here. This fucking game, dude. Well, that was satisfying. Now we wait. There we go. Have to take a bunch more damage again. Should have joined the Cat Covenant. That was close. Like how that almost pushed me off. Great weapon right there. You buff that thing with like Dark Moon Blade. Fantastic. Basically the falchion, but you have better R2s. Not as good though in the remaster because dead angles are gone. I tell you what's really good in the remaster though is Great Combustion, because you got a good one-handed weapon that doesn't need to be two-handed. And then your offhand is Great Combustion. You can just play mind games if they're trying to parry you, because you can't parry Great Combustion. You could do that before, but you could also just dead angle before. I mean, it's basically the same thing as fighting games. That's why they use that terminology. Souls ends up sharing a lot of lingo with fighting games because you have like recovery times on your attacks, and you have guaranteed punishes when someone's in a certain amount of recovery frames and all that kind of stuff. And these games, I don't know if intentionally, but these games use a lot of the same like principles. Fuck, I didn't think that shot you there. I thought it shot you in front. I think I got counter hit damage too. Wow, I don't get why that killed me. That should not have done that much damage. I think it's because it hit that little like pillar in the wall. So I got hit again or something. It's very silly. And these games are a lot simpler than fighting games because your attacks are very straightforward and you don't have as many attacks, but there is more movement than in a fighting game because it's like, you know, an actual 3D environment. But like dude, that's ridiculous, dude. This game is driving me insane right now, dude. Like he's just like behind the pillar and then he does some unbelievably fast animation that has so much momentum. I just suddenly get hit out of nowhere. Like, ridiculous, dude. And I love how somehow the stupid trap just keeps on whiffing, even though they're like standing right there. But anyway, the like offensive options in these games are so much more limited that it limits the depth that these games can have a lot. Like that's why I think the boss design has gotten worse. Well, you can't really say that though, because like I think Night Rain's boss design is actually a step up. But like Elden Ring, I think the boss design was really bad for the most part. And like it's just they're like forcibly having to rely on cheap crap, like giving the enemies like unfair stuff, because the combat system is just too simple. So like there's no other way to make the enemies harder. But like Night Rain is trying to address that by one, making the player moveset a little bit more interesting. It's not like that crazy, but But then just relying on like some MMO style like boss mechanics. But you know, I tell you, I'm kind of impressed because other games have tried to do like MMO stuff, like Relink did with their final DLC, and it was shit. Like, cause it was just obscure, obtuse bullshit that you just, if you know, you know, and there's no way to like intuit like what's happening and stuff with the mechanics. You know, just like LOL circles on the ground and shit like that. But Night Rain, I'd say for like a good 90% of the Night Lord bosses, they made the mechanics pretty intuitive. And yeah, it's pretty impressive. Yeah, honestly, the Night Lords are my favorite bosses they've made. I think in all the Souls games, in terms of mechanics, they're just done very well. Now, not all winners. You know, Augur exists. Also, some of the Everdarks I think are kind of just getting a little stupid, especially if you're playing solo. Like if you're playing on a high depth, like depth 3, 4, and 5, and you're doing Everdark and you're by yourself, some of them are just kind of absurd. Like, there's a lot of mechanics that you can't really avoid forever, even if you're good. Like, Caligula's ice crystal explosion thing. Like, that's just going to hit you eventually. The fucking... Look, it didn't do as much damage this time. Like, what the hell? That's so silly, though. Like, timing on that. Actually, I should keep it shooting that way to get the ring. Always like that one. If you just run straight forward, you won't get hit. I guess I'll go grab the ring real quick. Wait, why did it move? That almost wrecked me. Wait, this isn't the right one. I'm so confused. So it's that one. Night Rain crashes when Augur shows up. Like, whoops, how did that happen? Did you know Augur told Cease to be a bitch? He's also the decision maker at FGO. Do I have any Lloyd's talismans? I do. Not that fighting mimics is that hard, but I think you can get the headpiece this way. Come on. Yeah, I'd say I enjoy about half the Everdarks. All the base bosses I enjoy, except for Augur. And then the Everdarks are about 50-50. It really is kind of a low light of the game. It sucks too because like the first Everdark was Adele, which was really fun. So it's like, oh, these are going to be great, and then they're not. I should have put the ring on. Oh well. Not that big of a deal. It's not even about like the difficulty of like the depths. I mean, that obviously will highlight issues, but it's just they're not that fun. Like a lot of their like mechanics are kind of just dumb. Like again, Caligula, just every time she does the ice crystal, it's like, well, you might be able to cancel it every once in a while with like a wilder ult here and there, but like that's not consistent at all. And when the boss has more HP, they're just going to do that attack over and over again, and you're eventually going to die to it. And you're just like, okay, great. Yeah, I find most of the Everdarks have at least one attack that is almost guaranteed to like cause damage to your team. And then if the fight goes on for a long time, you know, it's just kind of GG unless you're really strong, and that's just not very fun. Like Adele's fine. The wolf is mostly fine, but there is just a lot of stuff that, like, it's just a little ridiculous, and he can do a lot of crap off screen. And like when he's doing the big dash attack before like the big ult thing, he's got like that follow-up like fire wave or whatever that just comes out of nowhere, and like that is technically dodgeable, but it's just like pure trial and error. I'm not like into that, but the dog's all right. Let's see, Adele's fine. Let's see, Volgor's fine. He's a little too fine. Yeah, actually, he's kind of easier on his Everdark form, which is weird. The bugs, I would say, are mostly fine, but like, I don't know, there's some annoying stuff there, like the super airstrike. Let's see, who else is all right? Definitely not Caligula. Man, Nameless King is a lot harder in Dark Souls 3, though, I will definitely say. Like, I think Dancer is harder in Elden Ring. You know, not always just because of, like, co-op and roguelike stuff, but, like, just the way she works mechanically, I think she's harder here. Like, if you're fighting her on, like, a decent depth level, solo, like, she's quite hard. But Nameless King is definitely harder in Dark Souls 3. You feel it a lot. And it's because, like, there's just a lot of stuff that Nameless King does that Night Rain characters can counteract in a simple way. Like, in the first phase, the Dragon Breath, you can just super run, and it's no problem. You cannot do that in Dark Souls 3. There's no, like, you have to be, like, so careful with your positioning. Otherwise, you're guaranteed to get hit. And, same for a lot of his shit in his second phase, too. Same deal. Yeah, the camera's worse in Dark Souls 3 as well, but that's really not the issue. It really is the fact that, like, your spacing control is a lot more limited in Dark Souls 3. Like, if you're near the boss when he jumps straight up to shoot the fire straight down, you're gonna get hit every time. Like, there's no getting away from that. So you have to, like, never be standing there when the boss could potentially do it. Also, the depth mode is just crazy hard solo. Depends on what character you're playing to some extent, but like, when you get into higher depths, it is just so rough solo. Like it's like, it's not even the like combat, it's your soul gain. Like your souls per minute is just so bad. Wilder's one of the better characters for it though, because your increased speed offsets that. And then you can, your ult still fucks things up every time it's available. I like Night Rain solo a lot though, to be honest. Now I will say, like, in higher depths, it starts getting a little dumb. But like, aside from that, I find the game very fun solo. Because there's just a lot of like aspects of a boss that you end up not really having to interface with or even understand in co-op. Where in solo, your ass has gotta pay a little bit more attention. It's also just very nice not having to worry about your teammates going the wrong way or people not agreeing and all this stupid shit. People getting mad, like, oh, how dare you go that way? You should have gone this way. But yeah, high depth, it does make solo very difficult. Honestly, you can't really grief in Night Rain. It's only grief when people don't solo. Because when people quit, the game scales down. I'm normally happy when people quit. I will say though, if both of your teammates quit, it's still harder than solo. It scales the enemies down, but you don't get the bonus souls and stuff like that. Before I do anything, let's get rid of the giant throwing crap. But I think the depth mode is definitely best with friends. Because with randoms, it's like, it's not even that randoms aren't always good. Actually, sometimes randoms are incredibly good. But it ends up just feeling like very random. Right, it's like, oh, I got matched with people, you know, I'm on depth 4, and I got matched with 2 people that are good, so I'm gonna win. Right, or, oh, I'm in depth 4, and I got people that are dumb as fuck, and someone quit, and then I'm probably gonna lose, right? It's just not great. Yeah, once you get to depth 5, I've seen that very clearly, that the randoms are really, really good. Because they made it to depth 5. I will say, I don't mean this to like be mean, it's just the truth. But I've been playing Night Rain with 2 friends recently. We don't play a lot because our schedules don't sync up, but when we do play, it's always the same 3. And it has been incredibly hard to rank because, no offense to them, but they're just not very good at Night Rain. And when you play in a 3-man, right, so you don't get the benefits of solo, right? You don't get the higher soul gain, you don't get the free res, you know, any of that stuff. Oh my god, it's hard. Because, like, your ability to carry solo, like, the amount of damage you do to the boss is, like, reasonable, right? But let's say your teammates are really weak, or they're dead all the time, or, you know, whatever it is, or the Revenant. You know, your damage is so low against the boss, right? Like, you're trying to fight the health bar of the 3-player version, you know, essentially by yourself. And, that is just so much harder than playing solo. Like, it's so much harder. I think Night Rain is the hardest when you are on a 3-player team and you're the only one that's any good. Then the game is just so fucking hard. Like, holy fuck. Yeah, I know, it really does suck that if you play with people that of a higher depth of you, you get less points. I don't understand that. It's really weird. Just like most online games, that's probably true. Well, not necessarily. I mean, some online games are just easy, and so it's like, you know, your teammates suck, it's just not gonna matter. Depends. Now, if it's PvP, then yeah. Get out of here. It's not even being carried, though. Like, doing depth 3 with randoms versus doing depth 5 with randoms, when you are depth 3, like, the depth 5 is just harder. I think they were just afraid of, like, abuse and stuff like that. Like, people finding ways to abuse the system. Honestly, I don't really like depth 4 and 5. It's fun to do, but then once you've done it, it really just isn't that fun. I mean, it depends. If you have a really good team, then I think it is. But You just start, it kind of just gets kind of like annoying. Yeah, I think depth 3 is probably the best. I mean, it depends, because like how good your teammates are and all that, I think affects it a lot.
Go along, try and make something of yourself.
But like solo, I don't want to do. Like 4 and 5 is just not fun. Thankfully, you can derank now, so if you like depth 3, you can just stay in depth 3 or whatever you want. I do wish they made it easier to go back to the other depth. So like, for example, if your friend's in depth 3 and you want to lower your depth to 3 so they can rank up properly, you shouldn't be such a bitch to get back. But I guess it's not that much of a bitch. The point of the game is to play it, so. I wonder how depth mode is going to work with the DLC, like if we can play it off the rip or if we have to wait. I mean, you can go back to depth 5, it's just you have to grind again. Hopefully they're a bit better about some of these systems in a future game. Because you can just tell FromSoft is not good at this. Like, there's a lot of... And this is what bugs me. It's fine for them not to be good at it. What bugs me, though, is some of these problems have known solutions. Because, you know, Night Rain's not the first roguelike to ever exist. And they just like, no. That attack can kill you very easily. Poor guy. Oh yeah, he can respawn, I think, unlike the other ones. And he doesn't always drop stuff. Oh, dedicated jump button. I miss you. I swear you can do this. Am I crazy? Dude, the loot's right there. I don't want to have to go all the way around. There we go. Oh, that is garbage. For some reason, the sniper crossbow can't aim. I'm not kidding. Like, you're not allowed to aim when you use the sniper crossbow. You get for killing George the Giant. He's fine. He respawns at the bonfire. You can jump there. Yeah, there's a lot of wacky jumps in Dark Souls 1. I meant to kick. Wow. Oh, that did some stam damage. Guess leveling endurance did do something. By the way, that's the same, like, animation work from the Titanite Demon. Yeah, absolutely. Meant to run. I keep forgetting you can't run while locked on in this game. Except for forward. That was close. Lucky that it staggered him. don't really remember what this guy does, to be honest. That's not what I was expecting. Just mash parry, no problem. Chat, why does Metroid Prime 4 look kind of bad? Like, man, I love Metroid Prime 1, but that franchise has not been handled well. Second game was just really on about the stupid light and dark gimmick. That gets so old and obnoxious so fast. And then the third one is just really different. And is not very like the other two. And then now the fourth one, I'm just like, why? It's like there's an open world element and you have all these NPCs blabbing like idiots. Like, the hell is going on? They still don't know why people like Metroid. I know, I don't think it's that hard. Like, holy hell, man. Like, isolation, exploration, combat. Get some, like, introspective, lonely music vibes and, you know, you're good to go. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? Fusion is like the best of the 2D games, in my opinion. I like Metroid Prime 1, especially the GameCube version. The remaster is fine, though. Like, you have the GameCube version, then you have the Wii version, which I'm not a fan of that one. And the remaster version still has a lot of, like, the changed lore and stuff that I don't really oh, fuck, I forgot that loot. But the graphics really are nice in the remastered version, so... Also, I think the controls are only really... Famously, people don't like the controls of Metroid Prime 1, at least, like, as newcomers don't. But I think they're really good, and all the later versions allow you to, like, aim like a normal first-person shooter, but then the game's not designed for that, so it's, like, really easy and dumb. Where, the original game, you know, it's more, like, clunky, but like a mech clunky, because you're in a power suit. And, like, the controls of Metroid Prime 1 feel like you're in a power suit, right? And then when you get good at them, it's really fun. Like, when you start learning how to be smooth with the controls and stuff, it feels awesome. And then the remaster and the Wii version, it's just like, hey, I'm playing like a regular first-person shooter in a game that was never designed to be a regular first-person shooter. And we knock him off. I almost never knock him off. I find, I need pyromancies to do it because of the stam. It's probably easier if you use, like, a mace or something. Ow. Wow, nice lingering hitbox, dude. What is this, Elden Ring? That was ridiculous. Jesus Christ. This boss is so easy, too, if you just, like, play to win, but I want to get the knockoff. If you play to win, though, this boss, all of his attacks are super easy to dodge. Well, see, in Metroid Prime, the original, it wasn't really an anime girl, but then in the Wii version, it was. And then in the remaster, it's like a middle ground. So that's like a whole thing. I forgot to bring down the shortcut. Motherfucker. Okay, well. I'm gonna speedrun this. Yeah, it's because of Smash Brothers. Because, like, when Retro Studios first made Metroid Prime 1, Metroid was basically abandonware. And Japan didn't care about it at all, and that's why they gave it to a North American dev. They just didn't give a fuck. Metroid was never that popular in Japan, and like the creator, I think, was dead at that point, and like they did not care at all. And anyways, shortly after Metroid Prime 1 came out, and Smash got big, and Metroid Prime was pretty successful, so then Nintendo like cared again. And they started like interjecting. I want to get blasted here. I wasn't fast enough. Oh, never mind. Actually, it moved for some reason. I think those guys are actually resistant to slash damage, but they're not that tanky still. There's also a bonfire up here, but it's not really that useful. Okay. That's not exactly useful loot. Should have killed the Baldur Knights while I was there. I don't think any of my rings do anything here. Oh no, that does. It is kind of interesting. I think in all of the games, if you play with a slower roll, it's kind of not fun. But Dark Souls 1, it's not an issue because the game is just so much slower paced. But having like the weaker roll is not that big. Don't you dare. I love these just completely ridiculous timings though. He's kind of done like that on purpose, I think. Like, they want it to be really shitty, like trying to iframe him, so you try to get out of the way. And staying near him is what will get you like knocked off the stage. See, I got the knockdown, but he's not near an edge, so I'm not gonna be able to get the gravity kill. And I'm not even, I don't think I have the knockdown for it anyway. Okay, the second part of the knockdown's a lot harder. Yeah, that was a really reasonable hitbox. I see a lot of people defend Dark Souls 2 because they're like, well, Dark Souls 1's got shit hitboxes too, which is true, but it's not nearly as egregious, and also the attacks that they're on don't like matter as much. And like a lot of times the way you like naturally move in Dark Souls 1 like just alleviates a lot of the problems, where like Dark Souls 2, not at all. Like a lot of the hitboxes that are shitty have like, you know, tracking on them and stuff where you're gonna have to iframe them. Or a lot of the annoying attacks in Dark Souls 1, like, yeah, they're kind of fucked up, but you can just get out of the way of them pretty easily. Or in Dark Souls 2, a lot of times you can't. Like, a lot of the fucking... the hippopotamus bullshit in Dark Souls 2, when you have low adaptability. Like, it's just ridiculous. And that's kind of the thing, it's like... yeah, Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2 both have some hitboxes that are very questionable. But Dark Souls 2 has adaptability. Dark Souls 2 has the worst movement of like any third-person video game I've played. Oh my god, can I get the knockdown? I'm gonna die before I get it. Oh! Oh! Yay! What's weird is he really shouldn't have died because there's like a giant bridge right there that he would have landed on. Feels good, man.
Very good.
But holy fuck, the movement in this game is like fine, right? It's pretty responsive. It's not perfect, you know, it's got some of like the directional issues and stuff. But the movement feels pretty good in this game. Definitely not as good as Dark Souls 3 and Elden Ring, but it's fine. But the movement in Dark Souls 2 is just so bad. And then you combine that with adaptability, and it's just a bad experience. Yeah, next time we stream Dark Souls 2, we're gonna play the freaking Scholar of the First Sin version, which I don't think I've ever streamed before. And I think it's just like a downgrade in almost every way possible. Except, I guess there's an extra boss fight, but it's not really enough. I'm gonna read what Beastly said, and I'm getting destroyed by... By the way, these guys are... They have the moveset of Tower Knight from Demon Souls. Okay, fighting two at once, no thank you. I actually hate the keys in Scholar of the First Sin. I hate them so much because in the original game, you can just go to the DLC whenever you want, as long as you make it to the DLC, right? And then in the Scholar of the First Sin, it's like, okay, now you have to also hunt down a key. And it's just like, this is annoying as fuck. I want to just do the thing. Like, oh my god. Oh my god. I hate Scholar. Like, so, a very common complaint for Dark Souls 2 was the map is actually decently open, but there's arbitrary stuff preventing you from being able to explore as you wish, right? So in Scholar, they made it worse. They added more arbitrary bullshit to prevent you from going in search. Like, bro, in Dark Souls 2, if you want to, very reasonably, you can fight Ornstein as your first boss. You can't do that in Scholar because they put a fucking giant-ass dragon there, and there's like these stupid, like, petrified statues blocking everything that you have to get the dumb item to unpetrify. Like, oh my god, fucking... That game, dude.
Exit here if you want follow.
Did you dislike how they made DLC access in DS1? It depends. Big difference because Dark Souls 1 never had the DLC be accessible freely, right? Because Dark Souls 2 was just, oh yeah, you can go to the DLC whenever you want as long as you find the location. And it was like that for a long time. And then the Scholar comes out and it's like, okay, now you have to do all these extra steps that weren't there before. For Dark Souls 1, it was like that from the beginning. I would say that with Dark Souls 1, it's more involved with the lore than Dark Souls 2 is, even with Scholar, but the parts of it are kind of dumb. Like, if you think about it, if you didn't look it up, you're probably never gonna find the DLC because of the Dusk stuff, right? Like having to reset and all that. I mean, I guess you might, because some people like want the items from Dusk, and even like on my first playthrough, I figured out that she, you know, shows back up there. But man, if you don't murder Firekeepers, you don't really upgrade your flask a lot. But yeah, I mean, like, you got the pendant, which that's not the worst. But no, the pendant doesn't, I just remembered. The pendant's not there unless you do the dusk stuff. Which, that's dumb as hell. Because a lot of people might, go through the Duke's archives before doing that. Because, like, I haven't freed dusk, because I forgot, and it's really out of the way. Yeah, I don't know, I don't think it's great. Like, I think most people just don't think about it because they looked it up online, and so now once they know, but that's not good game design. And most streamers I see get told, right? Because like the PC version of Dark Souls 1 has never been without the Artorias content, right? They actually made the Artorias content because of the PC version, which I'll give them that's an impressive amount of like content and quality for something that they weren't originally going to do, and it was just there for a PC port that was never even planned, right? Like, quite impressive, honestly. But yeah, I can't imagine anyone actually finding that shit without looking it up, or I have played through the game a few times. Like, you'll find it eventually for sure, because it's not like it's that hard. Like freeing Dusk and reloading the area and like talking to Dusk again and doing that before you go to Duke's archives and stuff. But then you also have to go back, right? Oh yeah, and you have to go to the back of the cave, which you have no reason to do because the only thing that was in the back of the cave was Dusk, and if you've gone back there, she's not there anymore, so you know that cave is empty. So why would you even think to go back there? The more I think about this, the more I realize this was not well designed. Elden Ring was pretty straightforward, right, with the DLC. Although I have a beef about this one too. They put, oh my god, they put so many awesome things in the DLC to make replaying the game better, right? Like, they put the deflect tier in, which they made that annoying though because it's only up when your flask is up, so I don't know why the fuck they did that. FP regeneration, it's a very small amount, but it's enough to like use your weapon art more, and that just makes the game a lot more fun, like so much more fun. Lots of stuff, I mean, all these different weapon types, all these wacky weapon types. So like obviously you're gonna want to like fight the gladiator boss in the starting area or whatever with the deflect tier. You want to enjoy that, but you can't because you have to fucking fight Moog. Like, why? Chat, what I'm getting out of this is Dark Souls 3 is the GOAT. Because Dark Souls 3 is the only DLC that I don't think is annoying at all. Because first off, the first DLC, although it's not a very good DLC, I'll definitely say that. But the first DLC is integrated pretty smoothly, being in the Cathedral of the Deep. It's not missable, but it fits fine. And then the first DLC leads to the second DLC. But then if you don't do it that way, you can also get to the second DLC from the final boss bonfire. I think that was really good. And I like that if you want to get access to the Ringed City stuff early, you can, but you got to beat Frida, right, at low level, which is very tough, right? And I think that was pretty fair. Because like for a PvP, if you want like the FAP ring +2, that's kind of like strong as hell, for like invading and stuff. But you got to beat Frida to get it, right? Like I think that's totally, wow, that's fall damage. Jeez. I haven't had any issues with Dark Souls 3 lagging. It actually ran better in recent years because like there were some patches to optimize it. Maybe there's some like antivirus bullshit going on now. Dark Souls 3 is just so good, except for the fact that it's R1 Souls. There's that thing. And that's a pretty big negative, unfortunately. I don't have combustion, which is what I normally use here. Oh, we got a lot of souls on us too. Oh, I've made this is like the hardest part of the whole fucking game. Do that or like maybe Manus. Although so far the hardest has been Catacombs and it wasn't even close, but that was because, you know, I did it right off the rip. Oh, I don't like the timing here. Oh boy. Okay, fuck you. I should put the wolf ring on. Alright, chat. Type 1 if you think I'm gonna do this without dying. Type 2 if you think I'm gonna die. Oh, I guess he broke the chandelier for me. I don't know. I found my success rate here is pretty 50-50. It goes a lot better with combustion because you don't move a lot on these platforms. You just like phase tank with wolf ring and great combustion them and... Okay, guy. You're real... Oh, yeah. Oh, that's good. Oh, our success rate just went up so high there. It's so easy to fall off. And like sometimes when you swing, your character hitbox will like bump off the enemy hitbox and you'll fall off. It's ridiculous. We have a little bit more space now on this one, unless he stay. Oh, don't be like that, dude. Would you like to do a leaping attack and kill yourself? Yes! Okay. If we land those parries, we got it. Can you imagine if I died right now? Dude, I'm sure that's happened. I'm so sure someone has killed all of these guys and had like this huge sigh of relief, and then they just fucked up and fell and died anyway. I'm so sure that's happened. Or died to this guy. Shoutouts to just pumping all my levels into endurance. Like, I basically am a vanilla character with extra health and then a bunch of endurance, but it's not enough endurance to fast roll, so it doesn't actually matter. So yeah, we're doing great on that one. Dark Souls 1 re-release where the... By the way, I unironically think also that would be disgusting if you put WoG on an invader up there. That would just be so fucking disgusting. I would have done this if I was at like the head of FromSoft. When Night Rain was coming out, I would have made DLC or patches or however they want to do it for every other Souls game, like Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3, because Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 are connected to Night Rain, like because they own, you know, they own the Dark Souls IP and they own the Night Rain IP, so they're like allowed to pull from it. That's why there's no Bloodborne and all that stuff, and that's why like the Dark Souls official Twitter was like promoting Night Rain. So I would have made some updates. I would have added like a little like area in Dark Souls 1. So you're playing the Dark Souls 1 game engine again, right? All that, and there's like some new enemies that kind of hint at Night Rain stuff, and like some kind of portal or some bullshit, maybe a new boss, a couple of items. Right, and do that for all 3 games, you know, and while you're at it, like while you're patching that in, because they don't do like minor patches because you have to spend money to patch these games, so it's not worth fixing bugs and stuff. But like while you're at it, fix some of the like, you know, fucked up shit, some of the exploits and whatnot. But yeah, I'd add in, you know, because I think that, and if you wanted to like go a bit farther and add like, you know, a couple of bosses and a few weapons and stuff, I think people would pay for it. I think if there was a DLC for Dark Souls 1 again, you'd get pretty large sales off of it. And you'd probably get a bunch of people to buy Dark Souls 1 that had never played it before. They're like, oh, there's like a, you know, an update for this old game. I don't remember you being there. But I think that'd be sick. Just like randomly do DLC for a like 20-year-old game and shit like that. Especially when you have like such a cult following like Dark Souls has, you can get away with it. Oh yeah, and fix Bed of Chaos. I would definitely do that. Yeah, fix Bed of Chaos, add another boss or so. Yeah, do all this like hype, you know, tie-ins to kind of like hint at Night Rain. I think that'd be so cool. I don't remember where to go now, and I didn't open up the shortcut, so if I die or have to homeward bone because I'm lost, we're kind of screwed. I guess you just drop here again? I did all of that for an item we're probably never going to use. Maybe for Manus. The fix for Beta Chaos is removing it. Actually, they should just redo all of Lost Izalith because it's just terrible. Like, just remaster that whole thing. No one would be mad about that at all. Like, that would be so awesome. A new boss. It's still a bit of chaos, but it's like a brand new boss in terms of like, you know, moveset and everything. And maybe add a couple of enemies that make sense because they clearly weren't able to like expand on Lost Izalith. You just fight the same enemy over and over and that kind of shit. Like actually do it proper. I'm sure Miyazaki knows what he wanted to do back then, so just do it now. And then the dream, now I don't think they would do this, but the dream would be whatever they add to Dark Souls 2. They're able to get rid of fucking soul memory and all that nonsense, but I don't think that's going to happen. I did not do a lot of damage. Sigmar comes out of nowhere and kills Beta Chaos. That'll fix it. I mean, I'd take that over what it is now. And if you wanted to, you could have made the DLC like this is kind of cool, but subjectively, I don't think I'd like it as much just because I don't like the bosses they pick. But like, you could make it where the new content really affects the depths, because Gaping Dragon is in Night Rain, right? So he gets yeeted and taken to Night Rain. You could have him get like yeeted, and then you fight a new boss there or whatever. And that you might have to make kind of optional or something though, because you don't want to fuck with like the original, you know, content and like play through too much. Other than Lost Izalith, that one you can fuck with as much as you want. Like maybe you interact with something in the game, and that will like change stuff and put the Night Rain stuff in or whatever. But the other one would be Centipede Demon. So Dark Souls 2 would be Smelter Demon. So it'd be like Iron Keep. And who the fuck is the other one? Oh yeah, Seath. Fighter mode. I don't know why I forget that one all the time. He's just trying to get me to aggro the other one. This fucking game. Not worth the time. I have so many souls. Okay, chat. What about the Silver Knight Archers? That's coming up. I might just skip these guys. They take forever to aggro. I know how to not get shot by the actual archers. The issue... Why did I just take fall damage? I remember saying this before. I like how that gets me, like, low on health going into the archer part. Thanks, game. Really? Just keep moving. Don't you... That's comboed. That fucking comboed, dude. That's so bullshit because the other one, you know, shot me from off screen and the hit stun just happened to be synced up with this guy shooting. Okay, fucking Street Fighter. Frickin', they're not Falco. That was like the perfect hit stun time too. literally just RNG. Like, I know this game. Like, you could do exactly what I just did, and the timing on the guy shooting you in the back wouldn't have been like that, and you'd be fine. Also, it's random if the Silver Knight that was close to me, if he decides to shoot again at point blank, or if he goes to melee. In my experience, he goes to melee way more times than not. But sometimes he just randomly keeps shooting. That was some interesting physics. If, like, I stop moving for a second, of course. We're trying to not take fall damage here. But doing all the, like, fuckery to get it to not make you take fall damage there gets you hit by a demon, so there's really just no winning. See, I just didn't get shot in the back this time. And then he keeps fucking shooting at point blank range. God. No one likes the archer class. Unless your name's Arash or Gilgamesh, but you know. Should have been a Lancer. Dick. Boy, it's a real journey getting to, Orenstein and Smo. Look, Billy is... his proper class is Gunner. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Really need to fix this inventory. There we go. Okay, don't need... So... overall, this one's better, because this one's horrible against magic and strong against fire. And this is strong against magic, but then okay against fire. Kind of weird how that is. Lightning Spear is cracked as hell, but we won't do that. A lot of good weapons here, like S-Stock's really strong, Shodel's really strong. Look, Fujino is actually a bridge builder or destroyer. How much endurance is it gonna take? The thing is, once we get Fatbring, it'll take less, but, you know, whatever. Wow. I mean, 40's the soft cap off memory. How am I still fucking... Oh my god. I'm sure without the shield, okay, at least we have that. My god. Like, this shield's so stylish, though.
Oh, there you are. You've been quiet these days. Anytime you see my brilliantly shining signature, do not hesitate to call upon me.
So he really does make Ornstein and Smough a lot easier, but we do it the man way. What class would Hovel be in Fate? Probably Saber, really. Like, originally, it said, you know, they could use maces and axes and all this shit. I guess technically they still can, they just never do for some okay, that's... Nice delay there. But yeah, probably Saber. Unless he's, like, not as we thought and is just so anti-Seath that he's a Berserker. Don't really get some of these hitboxes. Should visit the blacksmith. I guess he could be Shielder because his armor, he really was about protecting, because he made a lot of his techniques not just for himself but his men, because he made like great magic barrier and like that rock armor thing, and obviously the shields and stuff. So I mean, Shielder actually would make sense. Silver Knight, straight sword's a really fun weapon. Speaking of Hovel, this is like their secret stash. And I love the hint of there being occult items in here, because, you know, they're rebelling against the gods and occult items are good against the gods. And like also that one is, you know, in the Mimic. So it's like more protected. I would say Ornstein would just be a Lancer. There'd be no reason for him to be a faker. Even if the one here is an illusion, that's not him being a faker. That's Gwendolyn creating an illusion. It's like not the same thing at all. It's really unclear what's going on there, because the thing is, a lot of the enemies are just like you, where they don't stay dead, especially as the ages go on, right? You know, you have Yorm the Giant coming back and all this nonsense. So Ornstein may have just come back, right? It's hard to say if, like, canonically he didn't die, or if he was an illusion, or if he just came back because of the ages, you know, changing all the fucking time. And then what the fuck is the one in Dark Souls 2? Let's be honest, that one, they just fucking Dark Souls 2'd it. Why is that not fall damage, but that ledge earlier was? But yeah, it's like, you know, Medea made illusions, you know, and like pretended to be different people and shit like that. That doesn't make those people fakers, and it doesn't make Medea a faker either. It's just caster bullshit. What I'm getting at is Gwendolyn would probably be a caster. I do love how you can skip basically all of Anor Londo by doing that jump. Really need to stop backstab spamming. Wow. Don't normally see them do a third attack like that. Uh-oh. Had to force myself not to backstab him. Really? Okay. I like how I shield bounce off of an R2. It's so ridiculous. And he's not even blocking. I've always hated that a lot. Not all enemies, it's not consistent at all, but some enemies, even if they're not blocking, their shield will just, by existing, has block frames, right? But then yours doesn't. Very importantly, yours does not. And then some enemies, it's not like that. And I'm just like, pick a fucking lane. Wow. But like, if yours did it and enemies did it, then I wouldn't care. And if yours doesn't do it, then enemies shouldn't do it. This guy is like a Lothric Knight where he can just keep doing safe moves for so long that you can't actually hit him. Unless you get lucky, and it's just shit. This is why like parrying and backstabbing is the way to go. That is just nonsense. Yeah, the jump is like fun to do and stuff, so yeah, I don't really ever do it the normal way. But then I end up doing a lot of the other content here anyway, just because. And like, back when PvP was active, you know, it's really good to get that shortcut done. So if you die or want to invade or whatever, it's like, you can get wherever you need to get quickly. Honestly, these Lancer guys are just horrible. Like, their hitboxes are just, timing and everything is just super obnoxious. Way better to just parry and backstab them. That just gets really repetitive. Really should have the ring on when I do that. Yeah, I used to do PvP in Anor Londo all the time. It was really fun because you'd run into people just playing through the level. You'd run into other dedicated PvPers. You'd run into gankers. Like, it was just, the variety was so real. I really missed that. Elden Ring has never, just because of the way the player base is split up and the matchmaking is all fucked up. All the weapon upgrades and there's no covenants. You don't really have anything like that. Like, it was such a, like, rich ecosystem. Dark Souls 3 kind of had that as well. It's just Dark Souls 3 combat and PvP was kind of mid. The sword ones are a lot more reasonable to fight more like a boss. Although they're strong against slashing damage, so I need to do the thrust. What? Okay, look, I'm stuck in a doorway. What do you want out of me? Yeah, Elden Ring invasions were great for a little while, but once the player base got spread out and the weapon upgrades got all over the place, it got kind of lame. And even capital invasions were a lot of fun because it's a good level layout. You know, it did not have like the variety. Because there's no covenants, right? So you don't have any like wacky stuff like, you know, running into all these different factions and hosts with different objectives and all that. It was kind of just you're invading people that are going through the level and you kill them. Which, don't get me wrong, that's very fun, but you definitely got more than that in the other games. Dark Souls 2 had some great Covenant ideas, but they're not fleshed out. Like, the Rat Covenant is such a great idea. But you need to be able to have a lot more control over your level layout, so there's more variety. And I think the creator of the Rat, like, trap house really shouldn't be allowed to fight the person they trap, and if they do, it should be at the very end, and there should be like some balancing. Like I was a good way to balance it is like grave lords. If you grave lord someone's world, you end up grave lording multiple people's worlds, and all of them can come after you. So when you do the rat covenant, you should have like other people get pulled into your rat race as well, and then they at the end, when they're probably weakened and been beat up some, assuming you made a good rat race, then they fight you, but they outnumber you, so you know you gotta, like, that would be really sick, especially again if you could like control your world more and like put more effort into what enemies spawn and do tricky stuff and enemy combinations. And like you could be like on up high, and you could be like watching, right? And so you could like activate traps at key times and things like that, or like spawn new mobs at certain times and stuff like that. And you could do that within the game engine without much trouble. You just need a good vantage point. Everyone just dupe the stones, yeah. And like all it turned into, it wasn't like this fun like, you know, haunted house thing. It was like you spawn in, and then the rat lord is just attacking you immediately with a bunch of mobs as well. So it's just you, and they're really aggro like that because they don't want other people to spawn in, right? So it's like you in water versus some rats and an elephant guy and a player, just all of a sudden, right? Like that's just crap. One of the cooler ideas though, Gravelord and Rat Bros are really cool ideas, but neither of them were implemented very well. Yep, Rat Lord, Mastodons, and Poison Dogs frame 1. That was generally how that went. And if you tried to like move away so then the mobs wouldn't be on you, they'd just be running into other mobs. And then the Rat Lord would obviously be some like try hard or easy mode OP build. Yeah, then Soul Memory is just the worst. Holy fuck. And it's dude, it's so bad now. It is so fucking bad now. Because like people have manipulated, dude, I can't stand Dark Souls 2 defenders because they're like so lame. Like they're sitting there saying Dark Souls 2 PvP is the best, and then they're like using cheat engine to manipulate their soul memory, and then they're like getting their friends to make a burner character that doesn't matter, so they don't care about their soul memory, and they'll like upgrade, because when you upgrade a weapon, it costs souls, right, which affects your soul memory. So they'll get their friend to do it, right? Their friend will upgrade the weapon and drop it for them, right? So they can put every single soul into leveling instead of having to put souls into buying equipment and upgrading the equipment and all that. And they get their friends to buy them the equipment, so they don't have to spend the souls on that either, and upgrade it. And then get their friend to buy them the consumables and drop it for them. And then they back up their save file, and then anytime they use the consumables, they just reload the save file so they don't have to get more souls. And a lot of times what they'll do too is they won't use the ring that stops soul memory gain, and it's just soul gain. And so they'll use their ring slot to just PvP like normal, and then when they kill enough people and get enough souls that it'd be a problem, then they just reload their save to where it was earlier. Like, and then I have to listen to these people say that soul memory's not that big of a deal and that Dark Souls 2 is great. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, the people you're invading could not possibly deal with that. Right? You already have more knowledge than them and a better setup than them, and then now you're just like way higher level than they are. I mean, it's just ridiculous, like the whole thing. And some people don't put all that effort into it, like I just described, and they'll just literally go into cheat engine and change what their soul memory is. Like they play offline and use cheat engine to set themselves up, and then use and like you can be offline, also just give yourself the equipment and give yourself the upgrades and all that kind of stuff. Like it's fucking ridiculous. Yeah, and massively punishes people that are new to the game, because every time you die, and you lose your souls, your soul memory doesn't change, right? So let's say you get 5k souls, and you don't use those 5k souls. You don't level up with them, you don't buy anything with them, but you die and lose them. Well, you still have the 5k souls on your soul memory, which affects your matchmaking, but you weren't able to do anything practical with them. So like you're just fucked. And it segments, separates the player base a lot, and it doesn't take weapon upgrade into account. And all. It's the worst matchmaking system they ever made. Like, now I'm not saying something because Dark Souls 1, the original matchmaking was really bad. But, I mean, it was fine at in-game, like the way it worked for in-game was no problem, but it was really shit for new players. But, Dark Souls 2 is even worse in my opinion. And it also just it doesn't have good in-game. Or at least Dark Souls 1 had that. Dude, I just cannot beat this guy without fucking taking damage. Like, I don't know what the hell's wrong with me here. Yeah, honestly, Dark Souls 3 has the best matchmaking. And then Elden Ring is very similar, but they fucked it up because of just the format of the game and all the open world stuff. Like, some of these like swing timings, man. Like, it just sucks because I'm losing like a whole flask. Just a fucking trash mob. Like, holy hell, man. I'm noticing his first swing keeps being something like a really obnoxious timing. I need to just like let it whiff. Jeez. Fuck, he aggroes. I love how you locked on to the other guy. Can you just do something normal? Oh my god. Like, just option select the most annoying thing over and over again. By the way, that's why I don't really care about speedrunning, because there's so many things throughout a speedrun that is just reliant on, like, the AI doing the right thing or the right drop happening or whatever the fuck. And you're just trial and erroring over and over and over and over and over until the right luck happens. I'm like, this is not interesting. And why can't you just be normal? Exactly. Like, a lot of the basics of speedrunning, like, a game are interesting. But then, like, once it starts getting, like, really optimal and, like, who determines what's the best run, it's just trial and error and RNG just over and over and over and over again. Like, you know, the backbone of speedruns and, like, a lot of that is really interesting and useful, but once you're, like, splitting hairs, oh, wow, you don't get your health back. Hi. Like, we cut off his dialogue. That's unfortunate. Oh man, I really should have gotten those pyromancies. Combustion's really good here. Wow. Well, that could have been a lot worse. Also could have been a lot better, like we didn't really get anything done there. Fucker just poised right through that shit. Not normally this hard to spread them out a little bit. I just did the two-handed input for Night Rain. I was just perfect hit stunned there, and that is crazy. It's that much damage. There's really not much information about who's helping him, but one of them is one of the sealers from Anor Londo. There were like 3 sealers that, you know, drowned everybody. and they were all supposed to stay there and guard it, and that guy was just like, fuck it, I'm not doing that, and left. That's really all you know about him, is he was part of the people that was like in charge of drowning everybody and looking after it. So he was okay with doing that, but then not okay with staying around forever. The other guy is probably some just warrior, because he's wearing the warrior set, so maybe some kind of mercenary or something. But yeah, the one that's a sealer is more lore significant than I think a lot of people realize. But like, you don't know his name or like why he did it or any of that. And I think the other sealer died or something, because the other one is where you get the armor set. And I think they're in the depths or something like that. I think they like wanted to cure like Gaping Dragon or some, or like they wanted to cure the Blighttown people or something like that. They and yeah, I think you either find them in Blighttown or the depths or some shit, like their corpse. Like, so they abandoned their duty too, but they seemingly did it for at least like another cause. Which, I mean, maybe actually this guy may not necessarily have a bad cause, because Lautrec is really on about like he's very anti like Gwendolyn and Gwen and all this like linking the fire bullshit, which, you know, he's kind of right about. You know, it is nonsense, and this guy seems to be on board. I just got hit through the wall. Love it. These guys are just being so obnoxious, like just blocking all the time in a hallway, so can't really do anything. Wow, he ran through me. Thankfully, he went back to the other side. That would have been such a problem. Damn it. That does a lot of damage, but I missed most of them. Lautrec's AI has a really bad habit of just like awkwardly rolling into you like that and then doing a rolling attack, and it's really easy to parry that. Unfortunately, he didn't die, and he's got red tear stone now, so we gotta be careful. He can also parry you. He could have killed me there. You know, I can't remember if you kill these guys if you get souls from them. Of course, he's just gonna block forever. Can I... Yay, that was enough. I have like the fighting power of a level 20 and then just a million points in endurance just so I can have the fashion I wanted. It's fucked up, man. Those points in endurance are not wasted if you actually use a shield, because you need the green bar for like your blocking meter, but I'm not really blocking a lot, so Mostly pointless. Fashion is the most important part of the game. You're not wrong. Oh, I forgot you were there. Gentlemen, could we, not crowd the stairs? Bad an emergency. Thank you for not blocking. Interesting. Probably just the sword again. I need the shield and the... Oh, okay. Need the spear. I did the same in Dark Souls 2. I don't know what I'll do in Dark Souls 2. Last time we made Bob the Second. So I don't know what we're gonna make. Could do Fred the Second. I think there was more of that in Sin's Fort that I didn't get. Bobby Jr. Oh, chip damage. Oh, big chip damage, jeez. And there are a lot of attacks in Dark Souls 1 though that I just, they're so annoying to try to iframe. Maybe I'm just getting old. I don't remember it being like that. Well, I do it for some of it, like some of the Titanite Demon bullshit. I mean, look at that shit. I keep thinking you can run when you're locked on. Like, running sideways is just such an OP thing to do. Dude, okay, this is just ridiculous. With these stairs, they're just making this impossible. And he just keeps backpedaling, trying to get to aggro the other guy. Every Souls game is like this. Like, I honestly can't stand it. It's because it just results in you standing around doing nothing. Just awful. Like, this, like, AI thing they've always had, where, like, the AI, like, tries to, like, leash you to... They're kind of like pseudo like connected to the other AI, so they're very aware that they're there. And like, 'cause like if this guy was dead, he wasn't there, that guy would have been way more aggressive and just walked forward. And this is in every single fucking Souls game. This is like a thing that they do when they know there's another enemy nearby. They won't like advance as much, and they'll try to get you to go into them. And it's just so fucking annoying. I mean, it makes sense, like, logically, but does not make it fun. I've always wondered if this is intentional. I'm trying to remember how you do this. Oh, there we go. I hope it's intentional, because otherwise they wanted you to have to kill this guy to get that ring, which that's just fucked up.
Tis no good, but forge, very good. I help any time.
How can you not like this guy? Now you need 4 of them to level it up, jeez. Oh yeah, there's still the painted world. Has wings, falls to his death. Yeah, they couldn't really handle having an enemy go between flying and not flying in this game, so. They figured it out for Calamite in the DLC, but I don't think they, when they were making this area, I don't think they knew how to do that. These are actually really fun to fight, but there's not a lot of reason to. Although I think they actually have a decent chance of dropping chunks, which is kind of cool. All right, it's them. You know, I think they're a bit strong to slashing damage, so that might be a bit of an issue. That's such a cool shot. God, that's some intimidating music. I don't really care. Technically, we should fight Ornstein because the Leo ring is like, it is a thing. I find it's easier though to Super Smo is like it's not as hard, and it's easier to activate Super Smo. Boy, this is not a good start. Good, Ornstein is throwing back there. Okay, I was about to say, Ornstein, you're making this really easy, buddy. Stop forcibly changing my lock-on. Man, I remember when this game first came out, people were so fucked up on this boss. Because, like, they didn't know where, like, the embers were and all that kind of stuff, so a lot of people got here without upgraded weapons. And a lot of people had died a lot, so they weren't super high level. I actually had a friend that was, like, he was playing more than I was. So I think I was, like, busy with work or something. And he didn't spoil anything because I told him not to. But he was like, I'm on this boss. It's fucking bullshit. I've died a million times. It was really funny. And I found out later it was Ornstein and Smo. Bro, I like how Ornstein did that little thingy there and then just instantly side dashed. Getting fucked up. Ooh. Man, Ornstein really wanted to catch me again there. Oh! That was almost a frame trap. I mean, actually, I think it was. It just didn't do enough damage. Ugh. Bro, if you want to do this at like low level and have low damage output, no spells, no cheesy bullshit, and you can't get hit, it is so hard just because you have to wait so long for it to be safe, for like where neither of them can hit you. I love this fight, but it's honestly like kind of ass if you want to do it hitless without using some cheesy bullshit like where you just kill him really quick. To be fair, FromSoft never really promised you that it was going to be reasonable to do it hitless, but it's kind of generally if it's not reasonably done hitless, it means there's some kind of cheap bullshit. But I guess managing your defense is part of the game. It's mostly multi-enemy stuff when it gets dumb. Yeah, I love when like there's been a few times where like this community has all been playing the same game that's new at the same time, and everyone's talking about it, and it's super fun. Especially when the game is somewhat difficult. Because, like, you might have some cool gacha game with, like, cool characters and shit, but the game's so fucking easy that there's nothing really, you know... You don't have, like, an experience of going through the game. The most recent game I can think of that a lot of my real-life friends have all played is Night Rain. They haven't all played it, but a good number of them have. And then, like, Lost played it. And, you know, I'm friends with Lost, and he doesn't normally, you know, play Souls games, so that was nice. Wow, that's really delayed. Not even delayed, it's just the projectile speed is not really what you would expect from the animation. I think you can do a follow-up to that. Oh, that was close. By the way, Ornstein is the coolest of the four knights, although Goff might be my favorite. But the cool factor definitely goes to Ornstein. And he's the leader of the four. Good thing I had some health. Oh, then he did a faster one. Trying to be tricky, eh? I've got to stop missing. I missed so many times there. We are not playing well, I'm gonna be honest. Also, I think I have the wrong ring on. No, I got Fab. That's right. I thought I still had like the soul gain ring or something, or the item find. What lingering hitbox bullshit was that? I missed again. We gotta stop meeting like this. Brah. Well, he could have killed me there. That's crazy how much damage he did. He must have been one. Like, most people didn't know to level their health, and especially if they were dying a lot. So if he counter hits you, because he like has the Leo ring effect, I'm pretty sure. Like, he fucked me up there. Like, that would definitely one-shot people that don't know what they're doing with their build. You go through all that hell, and then it's just boom, dead. Woo! Okay. The eternal struggle of FromSoft players never leveling vigor. Well, off memory, in Dark Souls 1, people did level health, but they would get to Anor Londo at not such a high level, and it's not like the only leveled health. You know, they would level some endurance and some, like, strength or whatever. But it was way more common for people to level health, and it's because a lot of people got into this game because they heard about it, or they'd heard about Demon Souls, right? And it had such a reputation for being hard, so almost everyone like picked there's the ring in the gift section of like the character creation that its item description was like wrong day one, and it said it regenerated life, which is not what it did. It gave you more maximum life, but everyone picked that because they're like, oh shit, this game's hard, so yeah, regenerating life sounds good. And a lot of people leveled health because they didn't want to fucking die and that kind of stuff. But as the games went on, people leveled health less and less. I think some of it too is like, let's be honest, this is not very fancy. Right? And then Elden Ring, you're like shooting lasers and jumping and flipping and making fire projectiles and all this like fancy, crazy bullshit with your weapons, so people want to do that. So they like, well, I've seen, this is really what gets people in Elden Ring. I've watched so many streamers and noobs play it, and people that post screenshots on Reddit of like, you know, some random thing that happened. But anytime someone posts like a funny picture on Reddit, like, oh look, this goat died in a weird way, I always look at like their health bar and their FP bar and their endurance bar, and overwhelmingly what I have noticed is people level FP way too much in Elden Ring. And like, you don't need it, right? And because unless you run out and you run out of blue flasks, you don't need more FP than what you have. And those things don't normally happen, right? And I'll just see people with these like massive FP bars, and they're not even casters, right? They're not. They're just like Bob, and then they just for some reason have a big old fucking FP bar, and I'm like, brah. Like their green and blue bar will be about the same size as their red bar, and it's like, no. Just no. You can't cast a spell if you're dead. Yeah, HP should always be the largest bar. Even if you're a full caster, that's the case. But yeah, that's like a big fucking mistake. Like they'll level dexterity or strength early. I was actually watching a streamer, and they were like asking for advice, and I didn't say this in a rude way or anything. I said it in the most like mundane way like possible. But they were like, they had just beat Tree Sentinel, and like they were all happy and shit, right? And they were like, okay, what should I level? And you know, and they were like asking chat what they should level, and they were leaning towards strength, right? Like just leveling strength. Like the first few level ups is all strength. So I said, you know, well, you're gonna have to level health at some point. You know, everyone does, and you might as well level it first, because at this part in the game, you know, because of the weapon scaling, you're going to get very little out of your offensive stats like strength and dex. So if you're going to level either strength now or later, or health now or later, you might as well do the health now, because it's going to get the most boom for your buck, right? And they read that, and they agreed. They're like, you know what? That makes sense. And then they leveled strength anyway. I was just like, alrighty then. Well, actually, I remember what they did is they leveled like health like once, and then they put level like health once or twice, and they leveled strength once or twice, is what they did. And I'm like, well, alrighty. Good luck. Not real, by the way. And by that, I mean women. Women aren't actually real. It's all AI. It's all been a plot. Women never existed. It was a trick all along. We've been had.
Now thou shalt make
Where? Alright, well, we can now teleport. Got a bunch of souls there. Now, unfortunately, the quality of the game goes down a lot. I mean, Painted World is still good. DLC is great. But, yeah. The rest of it, not so good. Oh, I guess we should kill the Dark Moon Nidus, because, fuck Gwendolyn. He's an asshole. And we need that Firekeeper soul.
I am Anastasia of Astora. Now I can continue my duty as a keeper.
She, like, took the criticism she got from the masses, that, like, kind of, like, discriminated against her, like, to heart, so she thinks she's, like, they cut out her tongue because, you know, fuck you, everything you say is bad, And then so she's like, oh yeah, I shouldn't talk. Alright. I think it's this one. Now, unfortunately, when you kill this lady, you can't use the bonfire to teleport out anymore. But, still worth doing.
Very well.
Wow. Literally one hit and she aggroes. She must have seen some shit around these parts. Man, I could really use that combustion right now. Might just wait that Dark Moon Blade out. We'll see. I bet you she's just gonna chunk me. Damn, it's not that bad. That looks so weird. That didn't look right at all. Yeah, she's not taking a chance. And there's probably so many like scavengers and whatnot in Anor Londo. Ne'er-do-wells. She's a pretty popular character, and she is cool, but she's unfortunately drinking the, oh man, the Kool-Aid. Right, she doesn't realize it's an illusion and all that shit, and she's just pure team Gwyn.
But how? This man is a threat, Master Gwendolyn.
Fuck, I just realized I can't teleport out yet, though, and I can't go to the bonfire over there because, we haven't placed the Lord Vessel. So, shit. And if we go to the Painted World, which is kind of close, you can't teleport out of there either. You gotta do the whole dungeon. And I'm sitting on all these souls, man. Guess we're going in the front door. This place really does look awesome. Now, if only it was blue, and then like somewhere over there, there was the Pope that had a burning sword and a magic sword. That would be pretty cool. I don't know what gave me that idea. What's wrong? What's wrong with that idea? I don't see. I think it's a great idea. You know, that'd be cool if you just had, like, instead of one of these guys, you just had Tower Knight right here. Good times. Tower Knight is just such an awesome design. I wish he was a harder boss, because he, I wish he had, like, the difficulty of Flame Lurker or something. Him and Penetrator in the original game, fuck the remaster, but in the original game, they have some of my favorite designs in the whole series. Spray paint Iron Golem and get him a shield. Yeah. I do like Iron Golem, but Tower Knight's way better, for sure. I mean, we played Dark Souls 3 kind of recently, so we're probably gonna play Demon Souls next. And then Dark Souls 2, and then hopefully we'll have some other games come out between now and then. We could kill her, but I kind of want to do the Covenant level up. Getting humanity is kind of a pain, though. Yeah, if Demon Souls is easier to set up now, I'll probably do that. I honestly am loving the idea of playing Demon Souls. I have not played it in so long. Like, I'm just so interested to see, like, how I feel about it now after all these years. Yeah, I won't lie. Save states are tempting. You could just save state before the boss, so you don't have to do the obnoxious run back. But then you do want to kind of show chat, you know, what the game actually... Oh my god. King Allant. If you died to King Allant, you had this, like, massive elevator. Oh man. You had to do it every time. Just crazy. Yeah, Armored Core is really high on my list of, most hype Like anything Armored Core comes out and I'm there. I'm excited for the Night Rain DLC though, and that's very soon actually, like crazy soon. I don't think they're gonna fix a lot of the fundamental stuff though, like them not knowing how to do procedurally generated stuff. Oh, and then like, I guess the real BlazBlue roguelike's coming out, because it's kind of like the one we have now is like the prototype. It feels kind of bad when they do that, you know, like a fighting game when it's like, okay, now you get the real version of the game. But the game has been so much fun, like I don't mind. Like the game, like I just had such an amazing experience with what we got. Now, I'll be pissed off if they expect PC players to spend like $40 again. That shit needs to be like, you know, $15 or something. And a lot of devs have done that, where like, when they kind of like re-release a game on console and they do a lot of big updates, and it's kind of a new version of the game, they make it a lot cheaper for people that already bought it. So hopefully they do that. Yeah, I'm waiting for a sale for Ninja Gaiden. It just doesn't look that great. Like, you have to play this new kid almost for the entire fucking game. And he's just so lame. And like, from what I've seen from the, like, there's some people that I really trust about this stuff. Like, I know they know Ninja Gaiden like I do. And they're like, yeah, it's not really like that great of a Ninja Gaiden game. It's just okay. And it's way more of like just a good Platinum game. And I don't really like Platinum games, so like, I'm just not really that into it. But I'll play it when it's cheaper and whatnot. I want to see it for myself and check out, because I haven't watched any of like the boss fights and stuff, so. But yeah, like I like Ninja Gaiden Black. I'm not like that into Ninja Gaiden 2 and 3 and stuff. Like I'm not really into those. And Ninja Gaiden 4 seems more in line with that. I've heard people say it's like Ninja Gaiden 2, but more Platinum. That's what a lot of people have been saying. Like, I don't think it's, oh, you're talking about BlazBlue. I was about to say, I don't think the new Ninja Gaiden's bad. It's just, I don't think it's, like, what I want. But yeah, I love the BlazBlue game. And, like, the boss rush mode is so good. Like, oh my god, it's so much fun. Like, it's one of the only games where they make you fight 2 bosses at the same time, and it's fine. Because of the way the stagger system works, and the way you can combo one of the bosses, and then, like, dodge the other boss by comboing the other boss, like... It's just great. It's super fun. Yeah, they need to add that, like, big map mode back in. I hope that comes back. And just add more bosses. I think they've... Honestly, they kind of aced it now. Like, the upgrades feel good. The progression feels good. You know, maybe a little bit more build variety, but overall, I think it's all pretty solid. I think all they really need now is just more. Right, more bosses, more enemies, and more characters. So yeah, I mean they got such a great foundation. If they don't add a lot of bosses, then that would kind of suck. Just because like the bosses they have are good, but obviously you want new stuff to fight. I mean, there's obviously at least going to be one new boss, like obviously from the trailer, but I'm hoping there's more than that. Like. And I guess the price point will affect kind of your expectations with that. But regardless of price, I would just like there to be like 3 or 4 more bosses mixed in. That way, when you play through the game, right, you do a run, there's more variety per run, right? Because right now you see like 60% of the bosses in one run, maybe 70% of the bosses in one run, right? So in 2 runs, you oftentimes will see every boss. It'd be nice if there was enough bosses that's not going to happen. And so far, there's only 1 new character confirmed. And technically, he's not even confirmed, but you can see him in the gameplay segment, so he's definitely in. But yeah, the new boss could also be the sad light cannon guy, but it might be both of them. I guess we'll see. Like, you might have her, like, you know, summon in airstrikes. Yeah, no, he's like jump scares in the trailer, so it's easy to miss. They put no focus on him at all. He's just there for like a few seconds. Super weird. But he was a pretty requested character, and he is pretty fun. So if they did such a good job with Bullet, with like, because she's kind of just a punchy punch, grab, bang bang kind of character, and honestly, so is he. So with how well they did with Bullet, I suspect he should be pretty fucking fun to play. So I hope they redo Hazama, because Hazama's awesome and green, but he's not like unfun to play, but like he's just very basic, I guess. He doesn't like. He just doesn't feel great. Doesn't feel terrible, but he's kind of just vanilla. So yeah, I hope they fix him up. Yeah, rework Ragna again. Yeah, Ragna sucks. I actually think Ragna's the worst character in the game. Not necessarily in terms of power, but in terms of just how fun he is to play. He is just not fun to play at all. And he's the main character for fuck's sakes. And he's also, I never get this because when I played the fighting games, right, and I played all of them, and I played them a lot, I never gave a fuck about Ragna. I didn't hate him or anything, but like, he was just there. He was just main character guy, and like, he was a little bit cooler than most main characters, but like, man, I didn't give a fuck, you know, I give a fuck about like, all the wacky characters and, you know, bad guys and stuff like that. And then, you know, I look into like Reddit and all the greater community. Everyone just loves Ragna, right? And like people are always talking like, and like, you know, spoilers, Ragna like super dies at the end. People are always pissed about that and hoping he comes back and like they, you know, do make more BlazBlue games so Ragna can come back and like be alive again and whatever. And people are like really on about that. And I'm like, but Hakumen and like, and Hazuma and all that, like that's the shit I'm caring about, and I'm like, why the fuck does everyone care about Ragna? But you know, he's the main character for a reason, I guess. Just like, you know, Dante's super popular and Devil May Cry and all that. Fucking Kokonoe. Anyways, chat, I need to eat dinner. I am starving to death. I guess we have more FGO coming up soon, which I don't know how I feel about that, but one of these days, I'm gonna make a video of like some of the boss fights that are available right now, but I've just been touching grass. That's the whole reason I'm not making videos. I'm not even like mad at FGO, or it's not like I don't have fun fighting the bosses and stuff. Like, I'm sure fighting Gilgamesh with Billy will be fun. It's just, I've been having so much fun touching grass that I just haven't really got around to it. So yeah, that's like the whole reason. But anyways, boys, thank you so much for hanging out. That was a little bit on the shorter side for the stream, but I gotta eat. And I don't want to do Beta Chaos, I'm gonna be honest. A part of me wants to just do the DLC and then go play Demon Souls, honestly, because I'm honestly really excited to play Demon Souls. But yeah, anyways, take care, everybody. That's a good idea. Yeah, I know, who the fuck wants to watch like Seath again and Bed of Chaos and all that? So yeah, I think we gotta kind of just slap the Lord Vessel down, go fight Artorias and Manus and stuff, and then go do Demon Souls. Because yeah, Demon Souls is it's an experience, and I'm honestly really excited to play it. But all right, we will raid Cairo, and I will probably see you all tomorrow. I don't see why not. Peace. Fucking beastly with that. I don't know where you came up with that, and you must say that to a lot of people. That throws me off so much, dude.